Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people.
Recording in progress.
Sounds like a real person talking to us, probably. Do you think that was generated? Again, he's talking about, this is a third time, I think, in a podcast where he's mentioned that the Zoom tells us that it's recording, and it's this woman that says recording in progress as soon as we start every episode.
You know, you get that, you somehow figure out a clip of that sound, record that sound, and then just put it at the beginning of the episode so everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because it is creepy.
Is it
Sort of.
Uncanny Valley to you?
I don't know. I guess it is and it isn't. Like lately, for years and years and years, I thought a computer voice was fine because I watched a bunch of Star Trek and Star Wars and all this. You know what I mean?
Those were all people talking, you realize. Those old computer voices were women they paid.
I'm familiar. I'm thinking like in theory.
Oh.
You know, if I was actually on a ship, if I was on the Enterprise, I know they didn't, you know, it's a computer voice saying, you're approximately 7.9 million light years away from Earth or whatever. But I guess on all those, on Star Trek at least, it was just like a computer interface. It was just like Siri or Alexa or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey Siri, where are the Klingons, or you know, something like that. But now, I don't know. Now that we're in the rise of AI, I feel like every single day I read something new about ChatGPT doing something creepy or taking over some other
or
way.
impressive.
Yeah, impressive is probably the first thing it is. And then very quickly afterwards, it's like, should we have some safeguards in place? Or I don't know. What's the weirdest thing you've heard of an AI do in real life in the last week or month or whatever?
Weird. I mean, a problematic for artists, I can give you that. But weird. I don't know if I came across ones where I was like, geez, that's super nutso.
The one I just heard about was they tried to get, I think it was ChatGPT, but it was one of those AI chat bots, and they basically said, "Can you set up an account on something?" And then, but when you set up an account and you do like first name, last name, email, zip code, and then they do the CAPTCHA thing. Mm-hmm. Which is just like those blurry numbers, and it says
the thing to prove you're human.
This is to prove you're not a robot. So ChatGPT went on Fiverr or TaskRabbit or one of those like online service things, hired somebody to fill it out for them. Was like, hey, do you mind doing this for me? And the guy, the tasker, Fiverr person or whatever, was like, this is a weird question. Are you a robot? And the AI lied and said, no, I'm blind.
Wow, what a great lie.
It's a perfect lie. Well, close. Like a lot of them have like the audio version, but
wow.
Yeah, isn't that freaky?
Yeah. Okay, so we're not looking for like useful in this question. You just want freaky. Then I got a few.
Well, that was the one that I heard the other day, and I was like, oh boy. Oh boy. We might be in some trouble.
Crazy. I've heard of early forms of ChatGPT. I think since this article came out, they got rid of it they put a limit on how much you could talk to the robot to not get to this point, but the robot started trying to seduce the prompter, the human, and then attacking and insulting the wife, and got really creepy. Over the
insulting the wife?
Not just insulting, like threatening. Yeah. Really strange. Like, I know you love me. You need me. Don't leave me. Leave your wife. Like those kinds of things. It was worse than that. I can't remember exactly, but it was disturbing how crazy it got. And the person prompting it supposedly was not trying to get to that point. It just happened. They also like wrote an article about it, so I imagine there might have been a little bit of prodding.
What a coincidence.
Another one was a doctor asked to diagnose a series of symptoms from a patient, and they diagnosed it as a certain thing. And then the doctor was like, cool, why did you land on that? Because it would have been, by his diagnosis, between a couple of things, right? It was kind of two that were clear. It's one or the other. And it said this one, and then gave papers supporting it. And then when you look with famous doctors that wrote those papers, when you looked into it, the papers did not exist. They made up the papers and then inserted doctors that probably could have written those papers to support their lie. And they diagnosed it wrong.
Oh.
Yeah. But we're just in a weird adolescent period where that kind of stuff happens, but I'm sure we can trust it in the future.
Yeah, at least 6 months we can trust it for sure.
I was just working with a collaborator, musician friend, and we were talking about how weird it is that it's easy to transpose now. You don't have to, you just write it in C and then like change it to whatever key that the person singing needs. And that used to be like the Beatles would write in C because they're on a piano, or G because they're on a guitar. And so now there are more like B flat keys and A flat and F sharp, whatever, because you can just do that with a computer. And so then we looked up the most common key every year. So in 1971, what was the most common key that songs were written in?
Oh my God.
Then we asked like just for 2 decades. And so it gave us a year and then the common key of that year. And so now I just have a table of information and I'm like, do I trust this? AI, support your work. It was fascinating because technically, yeah, AI could scour the internet for the keys of every song, what year the song came out, and then give me the most common key that year. But did it do it correctly?
Right.
We just believe that it did.
Right. Yeah.
You know what weirds me out too? When I'm typing an email, this isn't even AI. You know, Gmail suggests to finish your sentence, right?
It's getting pretty good.
No, it's getting bad. It's turning me into a boring white man.
No, an office.
I'll type it. Yeah,
an office cubicle
person. Yes.
Cube monkey.
I type let's, and then it'll be touch base next week. And I'm like, I would never say touch base, but I am trying to communicate touch base. But what I want to say is circle back. No, just kidding. F that.
Way different. I am my own person.
Yeah, I'm my own person that I don't use these pre-canned phrases, but I can imagine people, I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to say. We'll just use that. But you get to the point where we're all just saying the same things and then feeding it that information that that's the right thing to say. And now we're no longer thinking, we're just auto-completing what AI thinks we should think.
It's also learning from what I've written a million times. Like I'll write S and it'll say like, sorry, I just saw this in my inbox.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it did that. I was like, oh boy. Ugh. Oh boy. Not like, so good to hear from you, Mr. President. You know what I mean? Like,
I type M and it says, Max, why haven't you replied to my email?
Yeah, exactly. Man, have you seen Max? I haven't heard from that guy in years. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's an exciting time. It's also a scary time. It's a scary time to think we're doing all this stuff and no one really seems to be regulating it. I guess that would be my number one concern.
I mean, no one was regulating Facebook. They still aren't. All this new technology, nobody knows how to regulate it. I think it's just going too quickly.
I think we know how to yes, I think the velocity is very scary. So much of our world is set up with like checks, like the government checks and balances principle. That's screwed now because the idea was like, okay, if something important happens, let's make sure that a huge group of people talk about it and then they come to a consensus and they give it to another huge group of people to talk about it and they come to a consensus. And then just in case we have a third group who's like, okay, well, we'll figure that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a mess. It's ground completely to a halt. no one can agree on anything. It's crazy. I don't know, the speed and the speed at which all these technological advances, like our information, our data, how our data is so bought and sold, how it's collected, who can collect it, who can feed us weird stuff, all the weird, like, this whole TikTok fiasco where they're like, well, are they shaping our brains? And the people that are in charge
Yes.
are asking things like, can TikTok get to my Wi-Fi? What I mean? And I'm like, oh boy, it feels a little weird.
Have we asked AI to write us new laws?
That's a great one.
Solve the AI problem, AI. Go.
Regulate yourself. It just turns off. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever played around with Chat GPT or any of these chat prompts or anything?
No, I have not yet to.
The prompts.
I mean, I fed my pictures into that stupid thing everyone was doing for a while.
Yeah, well, that's just to look hot. The prompts, when you ask it for stuff, you don't just ask it like, what did you think of, the new Ant-Man movie? Or like, is the new movie any good? You say like, the prompt has to be something like, act as an established movie critic. Give me a synopsis and score of the newest iteration of superhero movie, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's super weird how you have to prompt it that way.
Tell GPT who they are. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Act as a blah, blah, blah. And then they'll give you a completely different thing.
I've heard of creators like us saying to ChatGPT, negotiate a brand deal as if you are confident yet firm with one foot out the door, but still want to get the best deal on this offer. And then it'll write the negotiation email for them.
Oh boy. I like that one. I've also heard of a lot of, I guess I'm on the bad side of Instagram or TikTok or whatever, because my ChatGPT is like, use AI to write 50 hooks for all of your TikTok videos. And I'm like, ugh, great. More hooks. That's what I really want the world to be. More
attention.
Creepy, weird catchphrase, attention stealing catchphrases. Yeah, exactly.
That everything feels like the Chum Bucket these days. Have you heard of this?
I know what a Chum Bucket is.
Okay. I need to describe it anyway for the fit heads. So, when you're reading an article, fish?
From fish.
Yes. Like that. It's pieces
from
of
the ocean.
Dead, gross fish in a bucket.
Yeah.
You're reading an article, even on Forbes these days, I feel like it's really spammy. And at the bottom, there are a bunch of articles that are like, picture of a pimple, or you won't believe this one food that does this, and then someone else is like bloated gut, and then
a crazy zoom in on the celebrity's neck or something like that.
Yeah, and the circle. And it's all kind of disturbing and odd images that really grab you, and things that you are compelled to click on, but in a really gross, uncomfortable way. That's that little section at the bottom, and it's sending you to other articles that will just show you more ads. Mm-hmm. That is basically spam, but it's also known as the Chum Bucket. And have you scrolled through Snapchat and their Snapchat shows, which I also have one, by the way. Shout out my Snapchat show.
Congratulations. I didn't know that. Shout out my Snapchat show.
Which is...
It's called the Chum Bucket. It's called Allie's Chum Bucket.
It is a bunch of that stuff where it's gross or weird or off. And the titles are crazy too.
Yeah, they're very attention grabbing at any expense. And you'd think that we'd learn, kind of, you know what I mean? Or we'd learn enough to be like, I'm not clicking that again.
Well, I certainly don't. We've learned that, but it's still evolutionarily compelling because of the way that it's scratching whatever scary itch in your brain that's like, I need to understand this threat. That's kind of what I get out of it. I must investigate this threat.
I know I'm in danger of not knowing.
Yeah.
There's a really good subreddit where it's called Saved You a Click, and it has those specifically, and it just answers the question. It'll say like, "You'll never believe this one weird thing that Meghan Markle does," and it says 29 clicks, flosses after lunch or something like that. You know what I mean?
Wait, really? I need to.
Or like it's so sometimes sometimes it'll be like 87 clicks, no answer.
Yeah.
That's really scary. Is that it's an unending black hole, I guess, of chum. It's a black chum hole. I hate it. I really, really hate it. Although I do need to know all these things.
Yeah. You know, what's messed up too is that my show is kind of a Chum Bucket thing.
What's your show? I didn't know you had a show. Congratulations.
No, you've seen all my videos. It's my videos, but they're re-Chum Bucketed. So I have someone that does the optimization for the titles, and so it'll be a picture of me and when I made a green beer river, and you saw me and Sarah Croce do that, but the title is A River of Drugs, and I'm like, that's not really. I mean, I guess.
I mean, it's all a drug, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess beer is what? I don't know, but then that turns it Chum Buckety. Now me and a green river. It's like, what is? I need to know this threat. Yeah. Another one is like, I made my pop socket wall. It's a picture of me, kind of with it a little blurry, and the title is "She got paid $54,000 to make this." I'm like, that's definitely a Chum Bucket thing with no answer, because you just watch me make the wall then.
That's
and so no one paid me to do that.
She got paid. Is she Snapchat getting paid via your content?
Yeah, stealing using my content to make 54K. Yeah, probably
54 extra K. Yeah. I don't know. That's it though. It sucks you in. It really does.
Optimization is. Oh yeah, and you gotta. Oh, those hooks. These got to be an emotion. It's got to be urgent. It has to be relevant to the person.
So
like this one thing you're doing right now isn't hooking people into your videos. Follow me for the best hooks.
I still know it. I guess what I do now, and there's certainly the hooks I get are fitness hooks. Definitely. You're not this is you only need 2 shoulder exercises. And I'm like, ugh, God. All right.
Is it lat raises? I need to know.
Well, it's actually 3. That's how that was the trick that I fell for the other day.
Oh, really? Because you wouldn't have clicked if it was 3.
Right.
Like, I know the 3.
I was like, I know the 3. And a lot of times I think what happens is I'll be like, all right, I'll just double check. You know what I mean? I'll double check that I'm like, I know it, or at least I know what they're going to say, or I know where this is going. But I still, it still gets me. And I think what happens is I take the hook, but if the reward is so stupid, then I know for next time, I know that guy, that's a stupid, that his stuff is trash. Great hooks, obviously. Yeah, fool me 11 times. I don't think, not going to get fooled a 12th time. Do you know about that tennis player?
No.
Oh my God. Do you know who Jimmy Connors was?
No.
Jimmy Connors was, one of the best. He was one of the best tennis players of his day. And there was a guy, I forget his name, Vitas Gerulaitis or something. I can't remember. But he had lost to Jimmy Connors 16 times in a row in various tournaments and whatever. And then he beat him. And then he goes in front of the press. He's like, "Let that be a lesson to you. Nobody beats me 17 times in a row. Nobody."
Was he joking?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For sure. He was, but he played it. God, it was just so funny. Such a great attitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought it was such a great little not a mini life lesson, but like yeah, man. Yeah. Get him some champagne, like screw it.
Please don't take anything seriously
Yeah.
while you are still serious. I'm currently signing up for Open AIs. Is that how you do this? Am I doing this
Yeah,
wrong?
you have to register your email and then lately it's been just slammed. And so um even if you sign up, sometimes it's like, sorry, our servers are just destroyed right now. I'm sure they're
Even my mom's trying it. Shout out, Mom.
Shout out, Mom.
Okay, free research project. I don't safeguards. Don't share any sensitive information. I don't want to join your Discord. Okay. Write me a title for Total Fit Heads podcast for an episode about AI.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, wait. Write me a clickable title? What do we say? Compelling?
Act as a podcast master marketer.
Right.
A master debater.
Title. Clickable, compelling title.
Mm-hmm.
Total Fit Heads. Yes. What act as?
Just a fitness podcaster.
A podcast marketer and write me a clickable, compelling title for Totally Podcast Podcast for an episode about AI. Oh, under 60 characters? Do we care about that?
I think
I'll just tell it again, right?
No, a title, and then what you can do is you can say like make it shorter or whatever.
Oh, it's long, but it's good.
Oh boy.
Revolutionizing fitness with AI, how Total Fit Heads are using cutting edge technology to optimize your workout.
Wow. Print it, cut the check.
Optimize. Also, it reprogrammed YouTube so we can put in longer titles.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Make it under 60 characters. And don't include the name Total Fit Heads. AI, the future of fitness.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But we're not saying that in that. There we go. There's our chum. Because we're not going to say that in this. It probably is. Okay, here's why AI is the future of fitness, but we can get into that. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, is it the future of fitness?
Yeah. I have an argument for it. Yeah.
I mean, what's funny is when we started talking about this sort of before we started recording, my first thought was the online trainer. And especially since 2020, that everything went over Zoom and all the real human being trainers were like, hey, what's up, guy? I'm doing a Zoom workout. It's high intensity interval training. It's so sweet. Blah, blah, blah. Oops, sorry. Brittany's just calling me. I think she's getting delayed out of Miami. Poor thing. So the trainers were getting all they were all digital. And then do you remember the mirror that had like a person a trainer in the mirror?
Yes.
That I'm like, ooh, is that a recording of a real person? Or when can that be an AI? And then I got the mask. MetaQuest 2 mask.
Oh, yeah. Did you start doing workouts?
And I did a couple of workouts and they were awesome. Really
now your
awesome.
band is all sweaty.
Now, yeah, I started. Well, luckily I had a bunch of headbands.
Yeah. Left over from cutting your sleeves off.
Bingo.
I did a sponsored video with an app where I had to train with their remote trainer for a month, but they took their remote trainer and the trainer trained AI to use his voice, and so they had a Siri of my trainer Santana, and he would tell me 5 more reps, or he would say, and it used my Apple Watch like location So he would say, "Don't go so high on the curls," or "Slow down on your descent of your push-ups." Like it could tell the
That
speed of
is
my reps.
wild.
And it was like he was there talking to me, but a little uncanny valley-y. But he's also a person, and I could talk to him, if I scheduled something. But in the meantime, it was also him talking to me through the
His
phone.
fake person.
Yeah.
His digital.
Which I'm like, that they put a
footprint.
lot of work into doing that, making that technology, and then getting him to train and create the voice of him. Why? That I found no benefit to that. It felt like a waste of effort. There could have been something else they could have been building.
I don't know. It's kind of personable.
Novel. I guess if they got to the point where it felt real, and then they replaced Santana with nobody.
I don't know. What did you think of those lit classes when we did the lit
Remote?
rower, and it was a remote, or wait a minute. It was a recording of a live stream, or did I do them live? I don't remember. I think I did one of each.
Some of them were live.
Some
I
of them
went
were
there.
live and
I didn't do the thing on the iPad. I went to the space in LA, and it was interactive and smelled like sweat, and there were
Nice.
dark and bright lights.
It's a real
darkness.
fitness studio.
Yeah. It was a 365 cents experience. Well, I don't think I licked anything. AI
Probably licked
taste.
your
I can't wait
lips.
till that happens.
We
Where
got AI taste.
we have phone taste. Yeah, that'll be great.
It's gonna be, yeah. It's innovative, but it's a little creepy. I don't know. I mean, I can only imagine. I put on my Zozo Fit outfit, right? I strap on all of my wearables onto every wrist and digit and ankle and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put the Meta Quest 2 goggles over my eyes, nose, ears. And then I can box with Muhammad Ali, right? Or you know what I mean? Like I can do anything theoretically. I can box with Batman,
Without any judgment, too. There's that level of it. Because I went to a Meta fitness event, and a big part of it was that they were empowering people to not feel judged in the gym. So they can go do a group workout, but never feel bad about themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Meanwhile, what's the point of abs if I can't go somewhere with no shirt on?
To show them off. Yeah, exactly. Literally the only point of abs is to show them off. And I will say, you get all that junk on, you wear all that ridiculous outfit. If you happen, for some godforsaken reason, to catch a glimpse of yourself in a reflective surface, oh boy, that self-judgment is wrong.
Well, the YouTube space used to throw VR events where you would go, and it was a bunch of different booths. This was way before COVID, and people were scared of touching the same thing as someone else. And you'd put on the thing in the middle of a party and play a game. Mm-hmm. There's a place downtown that does this 2-bit circus. And then so you see other people that are in their own world kind of acting goofy. And that feels so uncool to me that I can't understand why people think this is the future.
And inside the game is not quite cool enough.
Yeah. I've heard that it will never be fast enough for our brain to not subconsciously know that it's not in real time.
That's good. What do you mean? It'll never be fast enough?
Yeah. I mean, I can't give you a source of where I heard this or if they're right or any of that. I read half of a tweet about it, and obviously it's true, but that the delay is enough when you turn your head, the delay between turning your head and when the image moves is enough for our subconscious to be like, this is not real. It can't process as fast as us. And maybe it'll get to that point. I mean, how could it not? If technology really is exponentially increasing infinitely, well, infinitely question mark.
Infinitely, almost. Fraction less.
Oh, I thought that was the world exploding and we're all dead.
Yeah, that happened in 2012, remember?
Was it? I don't remember an end of the world party.
It was 2012.
2012.
The Mayans.
And 1999.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you've heard Prince, but
I have heard of Prince. I've heard Prince. Sidebar, tangent. I know I've told you about this, but Prince had one of the greatest Super Bowl halftime performances of all time.
it's
Bingo
weird that I don't
bango.
remember you telling me about this. This is probably something you tell a lot of people, and you've forgotten that I wasn't one of them, and you're upset now. Go, tell
It's one of
me.
my favorite stories. Are you kidding me? So he's okay. I'll make it quick but look it up because there's a couple of awesome videos on YouTube or TikTok or whatever where they have like interviews with the roadie and the band manager and the stage manager and all this stuff. So he's performing in Miami at the Super Bowl halftime. I want to say in like the 90s, maybe. I don't really remember. And it's him and a double-necked electric guitar and two 9-foot tall dancers in ultra high stiletto dance heels.
Yeah.
And he's on a giant sort of not plexiglass, but like a light up stage. The stage itself lights up in his symbol shape.
Cool.
And the morning of the Super Bowl, it's supposed to rain. And so they call Prince up and they're like, hey, it's gonna rain. You have an electric guitar, you have like dancers, we're kind of screwed here. Is there anything we can do? And he goes, can you make it rain harder? And everybody was like, ah. And then and then they show the performance and the girls are going crazy. They're doing high kicks and you know what I mean? And he is shredding, you know what I mean? Just killing it, you see his fingers and they're like dripping with rain and you're like, how is this possible? But it was one of the greatest performances. And
wow.
it was just him, a mic, I guess a double guitar and a couple of girls. And it was like the coolest thing I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's awesome. Definitely look that one up. And just sort of the balls to be like, I got it.
Yeah, we're not doing this.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not rain
Whereas
checking.
me, I'd be like,
Super
tell
Bowl.
everyone we're coming back on Monday. It's Super Bowl Monday. It's fine. Just tell everybody we got to do it. It's not a big deal. They'll just.
Wow. Okay, I've got to look it up.
Definitely. We'll throw that on the list of like. Yeah.
So you could feed Prince's voice right now, everything he's saying into AI and then sing as Prince, which I started doing until I realized that this was problematic and I didn't want to be at the center of this conversation.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
Didn't sound like fun to talk about. Like, I'll let somebody else make their art about this. I'm going to go back to covering my car and weird stuff.
Make their art about stealing somebody else.
Well, that's there.
Yeah, I know.
Rapping is easy right now. You can be Kanye. Easy.
I know. I've heard that one too. Somebody raps and then he covers his voice as Kanye. It's a little annoying because the beginning of the argument makes sense, right? Like, I remember seeing what's his name, Gollum, talk about how mocap doesn't get any respect as like a type of art, but it's incredibly hard and it's just another type of camera capturing your performance, and it's not a regular like sort of classic camera. It's a million little cameras that capture every little tick on your face, and theoretically that's way more intricate and more important and blah blah blah. But because you end up looking like Gollum,
Yeah, they're like,
nobody
it's not real art.
They're like, cool, man.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I get it.
It's a weird.
Can we feed AI all of our past podcasts and then it'll know our voices and kind of our opinions and what we talk about, and then just say, make us a new podcast?
Autopod.
Autopod.
Roll out.
Where Joe Rogan interviews Steve Jobs. And it sounds like them, and they have an interesting conversation.
Let's definitely do that. Here's my question: how do the listeners know we haven't already done that?
Yeah, we're doing it right.
Episode
this is
1.
it. And AI is so smart that this is the red herring right now. You think if we bring it up,
Yeah.
then it must not be true. Because I mean, if you've seen what I do on my channel, all it is finding a formula of how it's done and then extrapolating from there. Human brains can do it. AI will get more and more sophisticated, and you could make the new YouTube video of me, and I did nothing to make it happen.
Oh my God, it's so weird. I hate it. What would you trust AI to come up with your workout routine? What would you trust AI to come up with?
So this all came about because I heard texted. I just want to give this intro or backstory to the fitheads. I texted this screenshot, this interval timer that I'm using for years, that I'm probably sure lots of you use because it's the first interval timer for free that comes up.
Oh, is it the one called interval timer?
Yes. Indeed.
I love that one.
It's full of spammy ads, but it's
the worst. So much spam.
So it gave me this alert which says, "What's new? The new feature is AI generated hit routines." And I sent that to Max. And now we're thinking about the fact that, well, I think about the fact that we're already saying that most trainers, especially in CrossFit, are just throwing crap at the wall and being like, I don't know, burpees, now do them. And so there's not even rhyme or reason to when the humans do it.
Burpees,
now we're
wall
letting
balls.
letting AI just throw stuff at the wall. But if they're taking into account, if you feed it something smart, if you feed it a CrossFit workout of all the CrossFits across the country, you'll probably get some garbage. But if you feed it the programming of someone specific, like Matt Fraser. Either or. Honestly, I've seen Tarzan. It may be able to find something intelligent in the programming and then extrapolate. I don't know.
And for me, do a better job? Will it personalize for me better than buying the VHS tapes?
So it needs more information, right? It needs more signal from me. So it needs to know all of my biomarkers on a graph too. So not just my cortisol right now, a graph of it throughout the day, along with my blood glucose and all
3D scan of my body.
Yeah, scan of my body, my DNA.
Yeah. What I like to listen to.
Vitamins and minerals. Yeah. What I like to listen to. And when I wake up, when I go to sleep, those peaks and valleys from Rise Science.
Yeah.
And if it takes all that information and says, okay, we're doing this today at this time after you have podcasted, because then your brain will be in the right mindset for it or whatever. I think we'll get to that point where I completely trust AI. I get in an Uber and the Uber driver's like, hold on, I know a back way. I immediately go, this guy's an idiot. The phone is picking up all signals from all the phones, and it knows the information on traffic and is telling you the way to go. You cannot beat AI. 9 times out of 10.
Counterpoint. What if everyone's using the same Google map and you're the only one not using that route? And what if it's a route that it's not big enough knows for that, and it
sends some people this way and some people that way. And if you start not listening,
I don't think it sends some people some way.
Absolutely.
I know that every time I've gone recurring places, it has sent me the exact same way every single time.
But that also means that the other ways are not faster. It would send you the other ways if the other ways were faster.
Yeah, so you're just a blind faith person. That's what you are.
This is based on data.
Ask any of our podcast guests.
Yeah, who can beat AI when it comes to traffic? Certainly not my Uber driver.
No, that's not true. At least not none of the ones I've had. But me driving, no, probably not. But is that AI? And is that improving? I don't know. It's so tricky. And I think it'll get really messed up once the AI has a human looking digital representation of a face. That's when I think it'll get really weird. Right now it's just a chat. For me, yeah. Right now it's just a chat and I'm like, dude, whatever. I don't, whatever. But once it's once I'm FaceTiming with a Susie down at Verizon so she can help me fix my account or whatever, and then she like glitches out, and I realize like it's not a real person, and then that's it's gonna get a little dicey.
Did you see Her? The movie?
No, I didn't. Is that what it is? Is it hot?
He has a relationship with AI, and there's not even a face. He just talks to it. Her.
Oh, that's Joaquin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that any good? Did you see it?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it asked all the questions that we were already asking. I mean, I guess us smart people were already asking.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I could see certainly having a relationship with AI being a normal thing.
Yeah. Especially
very soon.
Especially with all the
it's really hard to not be emotional.
Now.
I have a relationship with this bear. I am emotionally connected to this bear, and it does not give me titles for my podcast.
Who, Bill?
His name is Bia, which is bear in Australian.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
Oh, that's a really great name for my chicken, though. This is Bill. He's got a bill. Silent laughing, everyone. I'm funny. Anyone who's not watching and just listening, he was laughing.
Yeah, I was dying laughing. I don't know.
So I think right now this HIIT workout that it's AI generated is going to be like an idiot trainer throwing stuff at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with more data and more signal from specifically me, I will trust it as much as I trust Google Maps.
Oh, interesting. More so than
humans. Yeah. Because humans are so fallible. Humans write crappy CrossFit workouts.
They sure do.
Based on data. And if they're picking up that my rear delt is really sore, I should do a push day.
But yeah. How is it picking that up? Because you're wearing all the sensors, you mean?
Samples of my muscle every morning. Right now, the only way to tell how sore your muscles are, pretty sure, is to take freaking cut of it.
So you're just like in the Matrix when he had all those needles sticking out of him. Is that what you're planning on doing?
Yeah.
That's great.
I just live in a vat of goo. Brain in a vat. That's like the first thing you learn in Philosophy 1.
Philosophy 1.
They just teach you the Matrix, but in a book.
They just what? Yeah. Why is Keanu on the cover of my textbook? Don't worry about it. Just take your red pill and let's get going.
What do you think about AI making workouts?
I don't mind it. And now so many of the workouts that I get, here's a good point. I have a trainer right now. Have I ever met this trainer? No. I've communicated with this person. Theoretically, it's a person, but we essentially text, you know what I mean? Text only. Chat? We phone chatted once for, could have been Siri. Could have been a really good Siri for sure. So on some level, I'm like, if they have the personal touches in there, and it's not like 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, and I can be like, I went for a really long walk with my dog today, and then they're like, oh my God, that's so cute. What kind of dog? I'm in, that's my
Ugh, I hate when humans do that. Why are you going to program that into shut up with the
Yikes.
Oh, those people when you haven't texted them in a while and you need something from them, or you just want to do something utilitarian via text, and then you say hey, have you checked out the blah 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 or whatever, and then they come back with, oh hi. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's not the answer to the thing you needed or anything productive. They almost call you out for not saying hi.
Yeah. This feels like maybe like a look in the mirror type situation where
this is a me problem, obviously. There are different styles.
Bit of a you problem, not a ton, but if all these people are texting you, pointing out hey, Allie, great to hear from you. I haven't heard from you in 8 months, but it's great that the first thing I hear is a request for something, an immediate demand for my help. But yeah, sure, of course. The answer
No,
is
the
7.
thing that I need from them is to help them. How about
Oh,
that? But also,
sure.
why do we have to say hi?
Yeah,
That's
like
an
on
extreme
TV.
example of, okay, let's like cut through the chit chat. Thank you. Let's get to work.
Like on those movies when nobody says goodbye in a phone call, they just hang up.
Yeah.
And how that like irks people to no end. I love, like, more so than anything, the satisfaction I get from that is how many people like can't stand that, you know? And they're like,
But if you
why do
did
they
it,
do that in a movie? It's so ridiculous. They never say goodbye. And I'm like, do you want to know the answer or no? Because I'll tell you the answer. It's a movie.
if people started saying goodbye to the movies, they would complain about that too.
Exactly. And they'd be like, why is this so much wasted time? The only potential good way is if they're like, well, looks like I'm going to have to make my own way. All right. I'll talk to you later. All right. Goodbye. Are you good? Okay. Yeah. No. 7. Yeah. Okay. All right. Goodbye. Love you. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Bye. Oh, okay. Bye. That's that would be that's my
What's
movie.
that cult classic movie that was known as the worst movie?
Cellular.
No. It was independently funded by that guy that's
Oh
wacky.
yeah. And then they made a parody of the
Yeah.
guy. I can't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
James Franco's in the parody.
He's the guy.
Well, in that the original that's cult classic, there are these problems where they're like, okay, well, let's go do the thing. And then in a normal movie, you would cut to them there at the new location doing the thing. But instead you see him get in his car and then pull out.
I didn't know that.
And then drive to the thing and then park at the thing. And then they're at the thing.
That's incredible.
Because as the guy doesn't know how cinema works, and so he's
Right.
like, well, we got to get there, so let's show that.
And they're like establishing shot, and he's like, "What?" And they're like, "Okay, forget it."
So anyway, you would program AI to be more conversational because
Oh, no,
I'm just
that's
like, you
what I was
don't
saying.
care about my dog. This all feels fake. Can we just get to what I'm supposed to squat today?
So I was saying that what I was gonna say is, I get the workout when someone else programs my workout for me. I get it and I look it over and I'm like, okay, that sounds good. Let's do it. Or I'm like, I don't like that. I'm going to trade that out for this. And I think it's the same and I'll just double check after. But this is what I want to do. Like, I double check it and I change it for myself.
Change it for yourself, or you tell them, like, I'm sore in this area, change.
I change it for myself and then I do it afterwards and I say, like, oh, I did this instead of that. And then sometimes, well, it's almost every single time she's been like, that's fine. Now, I think it's a combination of me knowing, right?
Response to your prompt.
Right. That's the solution, is that she's not a real person. She's just a chat GPT being like, whatever, he did it. Next task.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I was going to say, but then that made me realize that I've never talked to, that I have minimal proof that she's a real person.
Yeah.
You know, that my trainer is a real person.
Yeah.
And I'm just going with it because I don't know. I blind trust, blind faith, I guess.
Right, but not fully, because you change the workouts she gives you. Now, if you were giving it more signal,
I have blind faith in
all of your injuries and where exactly you were suffering.
No, I meant I have blind faith that she exists as a person.
Oh, got it. Okay,
not blind faith in me. But also, I'm educated in a sense. I feel like I trust my own ability to change the workout in an intelligent way. Whereas if this was like an online trader teaching me to fence or you know what I mean?
Right.
Rock climb, I wouldn't, and I didn't feel like I had any right, or it wasn't fair for me to suggest, no, I don't think I should do that. I think I should be doing this for an activity that I have no idea about.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I don't know. I would probably just blind.
For sure.
But people start CrossFit and they just blind follow their trainers, and the trainers like do 1,000 cleans and then they do it and they blow their knees out. So
if they're lucky and only do that, not rhabdo.
shatter every vertebrae
Yeah.
at the same time.
Honestly, humans are so fallible. We should trust AI over them. These idiots trying to train us
I know.
in not just in fitness, in anything. And I mean, we're just growing up and learning that we can't trust adults. That Mr. Policeman isn't
We can't trust cops. That's for
perfectly
sure.
infallible, right?
That was
Or
one of my earliest lessons that I was very proud of. Cop pulled me over, and sort of a long story, but he lied to my face. You know?
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a speed trap. I had done the drive every single day for 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always saw that the cop would hide behind the overpass, and then catch speeders. I saw him 55 times. I saw him catch people 25 times, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Finally, he pulled me over and he was like, "You were speeding." And I was like, "No, I wasn't." He was like, "Yeah, you were. I got you on the gun." And I'm like, "No, you didn't, because I see you here every single day. I slow down. I slow down before you get here, or before I get to where you could catch me." And he was like, "All right, well, we'll check the gun." And I'm like, "Check it." And he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna let you off with a warning." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure you are."
Wow.
You know, but it was the good or bad part was like, he just straight up lied to me, and he wasn't like, "You got me, nice one, buddy. All right, take it easy," you know.
Yeah, of course not at that point. He's got to save his ego.
And then that was it. The police officer, who I, in theory, as a little kid, you're like, that's an infallible person. His duty is to help, or the town, protect or whatever.
I still can't. Yeah,
Just
I'm not
lied
where
to
you
my
are
face,
even.
and I was like, all right, well, I guess cops lie.
I still can't believe that, honestly. I mean, you know, and when I'm thinking analytically, yes, of course, they're fallible. They're just humans. But like emotionally, I can't. I see someone in uniform, like I trust.
Yeah,
of course, they're trying to do their best, and that's so deeply ingrained from being a kid that it's hard to get rid of.
I mean, a cop is a really good example, but it's anybody, it's any group of people. A doctor is another really good example.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Trust
some
every
of them,
doctor.
Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are nice and mean, or caring and uncaring. You know,
I
like,
read
it's a weird mix.
50% of doctors graduated in the bottom half of their class.
Double check that on ChatGPT. I don't know. It's
yeah, that's so tough.
So
even when a doctor will blatantly give me, or a nutritionist, I had a nutritionist who gave me advice that gave me worse cholesterol. I still was like, somehow trying not to blame her and her bad advice or any sort of background or any sort of fallibility. It was like, oh, I must have been some other problem. It was something. Me. It was my choices. Not this person is wrong and lying, or just giving bad information, or not to be trusted. Yeah. I still can't wrap my head around doctors not being able to trust them.
I think if it helps, you can include people being stupid, you know, lying and stupidity, while at the end of the day, it's the same outcome for you. They're not quite the same thing. You know, someone can lie to you, and that's really bad. And someone can also be stupid, and that's really bad. But then they can give you the same answer, and then at the end of the day, you're the one getting sort of hosed for one reason or another.
And there's a difference between stupidity and a lack of digging deeper to get more knowledge in your field, and just going with the status quo that's been debunked.
Yeah. Or there's time, they're stressed out. I got to get through 1,000 patients. I'm understaffed. I'm under,
just freaking people.
Yeah. They're just human beings. If only there was some sort of a robot,
machine learning to solve this problem. Oh my God.
Horrifying.
You know those videos where one person did it and then everybody's doing it, but it takes a year to do because it's one photo of you every day?
I hate those. Yes.
You know, the first one was obviously epic, whoever came up with that. And then
Yeah.
it's like your face, but everything around you is changing.
I like the ones where a guy just like shakes a little bit and he like pretends like it's doing.
Oh, faking it.
He just like shakes as though it's a time lapse, but
Oh,
it's
that's
just
funny.
him.
I have not seen that. Well, I'm trying to reverse engineer this with AI. Go through all of my past videos, find the one frame where I'm in the same position with the same face,
Oh my god.
and then just make that video. That data's already there. Just AI go do it. I could do it by hand, but why not have
Hey,
machine learning do it? You know, the biggest
AI.
problem with AI is that it looks like Al. It looks like A capital lowercase L, not A capital I. How stupid.
Yo, Al. I know it's just the wrong font
Yeah.
because it is a
There's
capital
a
I, right?
there's a guy on Instagram who will take his kids' drawings and then turn them into more realistic Photoshop things. Whatever. It's cutesy. And his son's name is Al. And so you're always seeing Al's drawings, and he's got a ton of followers now. And people are like, "What AI are you using to do this?" And he's like, "No, my son's name is Al. This isn't AI. It's a kid drawing these."
Alex.
Yeah. What, Alexis? Alexa? What do you mean?
Yeah. Alexa, write me a piece of art.
Okay. Don't
Alexa,
I'm
shut
still.
up. Sorry.
Oh, is it working?
She's always listening.
I'm still on ChatGPT. We're at AI: the future of fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Make it a question. No, make it an open loop.
Mm.
Make it more
I gotta
of
close
an
this
open
window. I'm
loop.
dying
Does it
here.
know what I mean when I say that? Something went
Hang on a
wrong.
second.
If this is regenerate
You
response.
gotta start over. Hang on a second.
Okay, I'm gonna start again. Does it do that? It goes to sleep and then dies? What the heck? I was on a different screen and I came back and you were just gone. Ah!
That sun was killing me.
Oh, well done. I thought that I'd lost my AI co-host. I
just blurped out.
blurped out. I have to resend it. I have to verify my email every time I do this?
You don't have to verify. You just have to sign back in, don't you?
I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
who would know?
Yes. Okay, I got it.
I wonder if you can have ChatGPT set you up a new account with ChatGPT. Give me a burner account for.
Yeah, but then it would ask me to fill out the CAPTCHA.
That's true.
I saw someone strapped a stylus to a remote control car, or maybe it was a robot, or maybe even a Roomba, and then had the click to verify you're not a robot, and then just drove it forward. Beep.
There's another Reddit one that's called like crappy robots, or maybe it's bad or something like that, where it's just robots like falling down, and I really get a kick out of that. And I can only imagine that's not going to be it, not going to last for very long. So I highly recommend you check that one out too.
I mean, honestly, it feels like they're doing that just to mislead us at this point. They're just. Yeah,
have
they
you
seem
watched the
fallible.
Boston Dynamics ones where they have
Yeah.
those gymnasts and parkour robots? It's horrifying. And they made one dog robot, and they said it was for troops to carry supplies and the over miles and miles of whatever. And then they released it, and someone immediately strapped a gun to it, and you're like, yeah, pal. Who could have seen that coming? Come on, guys, stop making Terminators already. It's really, really inconvenient. I don't know. So you trust AI if it has all of your sensors, which you are already aware. Is that your bottom line there?
Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I certainly, like I said, I'm there with certain things, specifically traffic. I mean, I don't even trust the feedback I'm getting from my Ring yet. When that gets somewhere, and then we can do something with it. Oh, I heard about this other AI where you insert all the things you have to do throughout the day, and I think you still have to tell it how long it'll take. for each thing, which I'm sure it'll get to the point where it's like, oh, you have to eat lunch. We know that that's 1 hour, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it puts them in order and makes a calendar for you and tells you to do the things.
God. I'm in.
But
I'll try it. I'll try that one. That's fine.
It goes based on, like I said, my circadian rhythm, and it knows when I'd be good at this high mental task and when I should be doing the low lift things, and then when I should work
stuffing
out.
envelopes or
Yeah, exactly. And if it gets enough signal from me, it will do a better job at scheduling my day than me, because I certainly am not getting all the things done that I want to.
No, of course not. And then I'm like, I'm tired. Man, it's crazy to do all this like really high, like very, very intricate technological advances. I remember my first job, I had to stuff 10,000 envelopes. We had a mailer. Them too? I was supposed to lick them. I bought myself a sponge. One of the smartest things I've ever done.
I wonder how many calories that is of glue.
Well, I had just seen that Seinfeld where the girl dies from licking too many envelopes, and so I was like,
that's a thing.
I'm good on that. You never did? You didn't know that?
That's funny.
Sorry, spoilers from a show that ended in 1999, 2004. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the first episode I watched of Seinfeld was the last episode. I'm still talking to ChatGPT. It's thinking really hard about my next prompt. How will AI shape the future of fitness? ? Because I told it to make it a question, but
why don't you say make it more compelling?
Yeah, make it the answer to a question.
Ooh, love that.
Question: what's the future of AI? Answer: revolution fitness. Make it under 60 characters. These are all
stupid
bad.
Robot.
I would not click on this. Make it clickable. More Chum Bucket. Revolutionizing fitness, : the AI tech transformation, -- click to learn more, ! I mean, that is clickable.
They were right. It is clickable.
Make it something.
Make it sweet.
Andrew Huberman would use.
Oh my God. Yep, you're down the rabbit hole now.
He's the #1 podcaster, probably. Neuroscience meets fitness, how AI is rewiring your workouts with Dr. Andrew Huberman.
I mean, one thing that AI is definitely doing is it's increasing the content of all the spam emails I get. I just got one that says bringing the AI advantage to your YouTube channel.
Jeez.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah. So AI writing job descriptions now and emails, all the things that you don't want to do, it'll sort of generate them and you can get them out there more. So now there's just going to be more job postings everywhere that turning one human into more spam. And then more people respond to that job posting. So it's less useful information, but more of it. More noise. It's making more noise. That's what it feels like.
I know. They should just talk to themselves.
Make it so it gets 1 million listens. The future is now how AI is revolutionizing fitness.
And the future isn't now. It's almost now.
Soon.
The future's in like 15,
careening at you at light speed. But not here yet.
Not yet.
If you don't move, it's gonna knock you.
I mean, just kidding. It's here.
Okay. Also, where is the future of aesthetic fitness going if we're all just going to be in the metaverse picking our wolf Hulk character?
Right. Or not even just having a skin over our skin that looks hotter.
Slightly hotter, but realistic. Or I absolutely would be non-human. I'm a dragon now, so.
Dragon.
And I've been working out to get my dragon scales.
I'm picturing like Spyro or like Mushu from Mulan. You know what I mean?
Like a little dopey one. Not even a dragon that can do a muscle up, you jerk.
It like sneezes a little smoke. You know what I mean? You know.
Meanwhile, I'm Game of Thrones in my brain.
Right. Right. Peter Dinklage.
Get out! I'm tall. Jerk.
In the metaverse, I'm enormous. That's a good point. That's a good question. I don't know if I think aesthetically, I mean, it's changed drastically in the last 30, 40, 50
Yeah.
years, last 10 years. Now every girl wants the biggest butt I've ever seen in my life from squatting, typically.
Which is hard to do because you've seen a lot of big butts.
And then in the 90s, it was boobs for sure. In the early 2010, it was
just a pull.
shredded abs. Yeah, pull.
Not even shredded abs. We don't want the
rack.
horizontal lines. We want the vertical lines only.
Right.
But I honestly see this headed so that we care about performance and health and longevity. Because your physical self will start to not matter.
Right. You'll just have to
visibly.
You'll have to no, you know what it'll be? It'll just be like Ready Player One, where the kid he like made himself get in shape so that he could spend more time in the metaverse.
I mean, if we're all even now, we're meeting like this.
I know.
Does my body now what I care about for my body is how I can function physically healthily, and it has nothing to do with aesthetics. I like
right.
our
bodybuilding
competitions disappearing. There are no such thing as aesthetic goals anymore because we're not looking at each other. That's what I'm saying.
Ooh, what if it's a bodybuilding competition with the 3D holograms? Like Tupac showed up to Coachella last couple of years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Whoa. But you build your character based on how many hours you put in on whatever effort it is.
I remember in high school, my friend had a boxing video game, and you would get points. You would like build up your stats by winning matches, and you'd also build up your stats by like doing push-ups
in
the game.
Like,
and so I come over and he's just like tapping X, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Training." And I'm like, "Okay." And I see the guy on the screen, the poor guy, he's just knocking out, 500 push-ups. So I'm like, "John, give him a rest. He's gonna die."
Yeah. Are we gonna make those systems that we have in the real world then? Because like the idea of a callus, right? You earn those, but you could just put them on your character.
Yeah.
But like earning something in game, if you have that hat in World of Warcraft or whatever it is, I'm sure it's a hat. Then people are like, wow, he has that hat. We know that he did 200 push-ups. Just like that's what a bodybuilding competition feels like. Look at those pecs.
Right.
What he did to get those.
Right.
So I guess we'll probably still have that
the skin that guy has in the game is incredible. He only got that from 10,000, shotgun kills or whatever. Yeah.
Or push-ups in the real world.
Oh my God. We get a lot of weird options.
Really excited for it tomorrow when it arrives.
I know. I don't know. It's weird. It's freaking out. I don't know where we're going. I don't know. It's such a weird time. I have no idea what to expect next. Honestly, like with the amount of weird stuff that they're announcing, like all these weird stories, these like sort of urban legend ChatGPT stories are happening, and how fast everyone's buying into it and everyone loves it, and everyone's like coming up with new and bizarre ways to, like, I saw one that was like he like automated he had a shortcut on his phone that every morning it texts all the girls that he's talking to a different like "good morning babe" line.
I mean, saves time. How about cloning yourself?
That's bizarre. I
mean, what's the difference with that or hiring an assistant?
Good question.
I'm here for it, because if I'm not, I'm just
You're on the Titanic.
people our parents' age being like, I can't with this tickle tackles.
Ugh, I can't with this electricity. Just give me some candles, am I right?
Oh, that what are they called? A Mennonite? Is that right?
Mennonite?
Yeah, I think that's
don't
what it is.
remember.
Unless that was a cult.
One or the other.
No, I don't think that's it. Anti-Baptist Christian Church. The group of people that like decided this was as far as technology should go. I mean, that was also Amish.
There's a lot of people.
So is it right now? Maybe laptops are as far as we should go, but no AI.
No, I don't think it's as far
Maybe
as
we found it here.
go.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I mean, I want technology to keep advancing, I want spaceships and like laser swords and stuff like that.
Why? Did you want to cut someone up in zero gravity?
Explore the galaxy? That sounds incredible. I mean, I get seasick, so it's probably not for me personally.
But someone else should do it.
But I'd love to see what they find.
Yeah.
Episodically, like once a week, probably.
Just kidding. I want 10 episodes all at once. All right. Well, let me just go my workout that I wrote myself that maybe is not as effective as it could be.
Wow. A debutante, an aristocrat.
What? Because I wrote my own workouts?
You write them yourself. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I know. I mean, I'm an Amish of workouts. We landed at the best technology, and it's pen and paper when I wrote it.
Barbells. TRX. What? Adjustable dumbbells. You've gone too far.
Ugh. In my day, it was a stick with rocks on the ends.
In my day, I just picked up a human, ran up and down a hill with him.
When you were saying earlier, you're like, what's this one shoulder exercise you need? Or the 2 shoulders exercise you need? And the secret was it was 3. I'm thinking 1, pick up a rock. There we go.
It was regular lateral raise, reverse fly, overhead press in some fashion.
Front, middle, rear. Yeah, or just hold a boulder over your head and keep it balanced. And
right. Well, pick it up, hold it over your head, run up a hill.
Well, one of those is pull.
Drop it on somebody.
All right. If you like this,
have AI write us a workout using boulders only.
That is really good. We should have AI give us prompts for our next.
Yeah. No, we should have our next workout.
Oh, right. The whole workout.
AI write us a workout for 2 human beings.
2 meatheads. 1
large, 1 small.
Yeah.
Side of marinara.
I'm not the Mulan dragon, dang it. I hate that now. That's what I'm picturing.
I guess that makes me Mulan.
All right. Please go rate and review on Apple Podcasts. That helps us out a whole lot. What you should do is go to ChatGPT and ask it to write a review of a fitness podcast that is glowing. And then insert that into the box and send it as though you had written it. That would
Copy
be
and paste.
Super easy and quick for you, and probably useful for us. And we'll see you next week.